When we think of Hollywood's greatest partnerships, Whitney Houston and Kevin Costner may not be the first names that come to mind. Yet their relationship, formed during the making of The Bodyguard, is one of deep friendship, trust, and mutual respect. Their bond was more than just professional, it was personal. When Whitney Houston passed away in February 2012, Costner's eulogy moved the world as he shared intimate insights about their enduring friendship and his admiration for her. In his speech, Costner reflected on Whitney's impact on his life and the unforgettable role she played in shaping one of the most beloved films in cinematic history. Their story begins with a film that was never originally meant for either of them, but became a defining moment in both of their careers, the beginnings of The Bodyguard. Released in 1992, The Bodyguard quickly became one of the most successful romantic dramas of all time. Yet, what many don't realize is that the film was never intended to star Kevin Costner and Whitney Houston. The original script was written with Diana Ross and Steve McQueen in mind, but after being rejected by 67 studios, it eventually found its way to Costner. At the time, Costner was an unknown actor, but his career took a sharp turn after Dances with Wolves became a massive hit. With newfound fame, Costner pushed to revive the Bodyguard project, and his only condition was that Whitney Houston, an international pop star, would play the female lead. It was a bold move, as Whitney had never acted before, but Costner was adamant. Whitney's hesitation and Costner's belief. When Costner approached Whitney Houston, she was initially hesitant to take the role. She feared that critics would attack her acting abilities and that she would not be able to live up to the expectations set by her musical career. Despite being one of the world's most beloved pop stars, Whitney lacked confidence in her acting skills. She openly admitted that she felt inadequate and feared making a fool of herself in front of the world. However, Costner's belief in her was unwavering. He personally called her, reassuring her of her talent and urging her to take the role. Eventually, she agreed, but her nerves were only just beginning. Whitney's first acting role was a huge undertaking, and the pressure mounted with each passing day. The screen test that changed everything. As the filming process began, Whitney's insecurities only deepened. While she was known for her powerful voice, the world had yet to see her acting abilities. The studio insisted that Whitney take a screen test before officially casting her, something that left both Costner and Whitney on edge. Costner, who was already convinced of her talent, watched as Whitney prepared for the screen test, visibly doubting herself. In his eulogy, Costner recalled the heartbreaking moment he saw her in the trailer. Her self-doubt written all over her face. Despite his reassurances, she couldn't seem to believe in herself. Costner even confessed that he was tempted to rig the audition in her favor, but he ultimately stopped himself, realizing it wouldn't be fair to Whitney or anyone involved. What happened next revealed the depth of Whitney's character and determination. The makeup incident and Whitney's vulnerability. As the screen test loomed, Whitney asked Costner to leave her alone for a few minutes. She needed time to gather herself. When she emerged 20 minutes later, the production team immediately stopped filming. Whitney had applied much heavier makeup during those 20 minutes, hoping to look her best. Unfortunately, the makeup melted under the hot studio lights, leaving her feeling self-conscious and vulnerable. When Costner asked her why she had changed her makeup, she quietly replied, "I just wanted to look my best." In that moment, Costner understood that beneath her superstar exterior, Whitney was just like anyone else, facing insecurities and a deep desire to prove herself. This experience marked a turning point in their relationship, as Costner saw firsthand how hard Whitney worked to ensure her success, even at the expense of her own peace of mind. The song that defined The Bodyguard. One of the most memorable moments of The Bodyguard is Whitney Houston's haunting performance of "I Will Always Love You." However, this song wasn't even part of the original script. The filmmakers had initially chosen What Becomes of the Broken-Hearted as the song for Whitney's character to sing. In hindsight, this original choice seems tragically fitting, as it mirrors the themes of heartache and loss that played a significant role in both Whitney's personal life and her career. However, it was Whitney's iconic performance of "I Will Always Love You" that became the heart and soul of the film. Costner often reflected on how the song came to be and how Whitney's performance elevated the entire movie into something extraordinary. Shared history and bonding over faith. Whitney And Costner's bond was not only built on their professional collaboration, but also on their shared history and values. Both had grown up in the Baptist church, and they often exchanged stories about their childhoods. Costner recalled his mischievous days in church, passing notes, talking during sermons, and sneaking away to the kitchen to pretend to drink whiskey after communion. Whitney found these stories hilarious, particularly when Costner recounted how his father would drag him away when he was caught misbehaving. These shared experiences brought them closer, and the connection they forged on set was one rooted in mutual respect and affection. Their friendship grew stronger over time, with both of them finding comfort in the simplicity of their shared faith and humor. Costner's love and regret for Whitney. When Whitney passed away, Costner expressed his grief publicly, referring to her as "my one true love." In a heartfelt interview, Costner revealed that he had written several letters to Whitney when he learned she was struggling with addiction. Despite not enjoying writing letters, Costner sent them in hopes that Whitney would reach out to him for help. Unfortunately, those letters went unanswered, and Costner was never certain if she had even read them. At Whitney's funeral, Costner spoke about the pain he felt, watching Whitney constantly doubt her own worth, despite being one of the greatest talents the world had ever seen. He shared how she set a standard so high that even professional singers are now hesitant to attempt her songs. A farewell to a friend. In his emotional eulogy, Costner described Whitney as heaven's newest treasure, and reflected on how even God might wonder how he created someone so perfect. His final words were simple but deeply touching. He told Whitney that when she sang before the Heavenly Father, she should not doubt herself. "You'll be good enough," he said, a sentiment that captured the essence of their relationship. Whitney Houston was more than a superstar. She was a deeply sensitive, complex individual who struggled with self-doubt and insecurity despite her immense talent. Costner's farewell was a poignant reminder of the friendship they had shared and the profound impact Whitney had on those who knew her. Whitney and Costner's timeless friendship. Whitney and Kevin Costner's relationship was built on trust, support, and a mutual admiration. They both understood the pressures of fame, and together they navigated the complexities of their careers. Their friendship transcended the professional realm and became something far deeper, rooted in respect, shared experiences, and a love for one another. Though their story didn't have a perfect ending, it remains a beautiful testament to the power of genuine connection and unwavering support. Whitney Houston and Kevin Costner's partnership, both on and off the screen, will always be remembered as one of Hollywood's most special and enduring friendships.